It's Friday. Today I wanted to load my new roll. Okay, I think I loaded this, and this time I'm a bit better with the starter shot, so it's now at 3 instead of at 0. I mean, I think next time I'll do like a perfect job, but it's still better. Okay, let's go take some shots. This is the rare place. This is very not common for Paris to be yellow. A lot of trees, they just kind of go dry. So because of that, I decided to just stay in the area and take more shots with this. I'm trying new lens too, and I'm gonna show you the POV shots that I'm taking, but basically I'm trying to photograph this beautiful alley. It's just not gonna be exactly as I see it because of the zoom, so this crops much closer than what you see from the POV camera, but I think it's still kind of fun to show what you see from the digital versus film. Okay, let's take some shots. Currently at the garden of the Invalides Museum. This is the building you see behind me. It's sort of hidden. It's not like you cannot see it from the outside, but I don't think a lot of people know that they have this garden. So the museum itself and the building is for the war veterans, and this lower building behind me is where they reside. But then the museum itself is this dome, is where the Napoleon's tomb is located, and the entrance to the garden is free. I believe the museum, you actually have to buy the ticket, but this whole area, I will show you my favorite part is actually this, and this is what I meant by the garden. And now we have a lot of autumn colors, and it's just so beautiful, and it's peaceful also, especially during the day. You don't have too many people that come here. So this is one more hidden garden in Paris for you. I also had a discovery. So there is this thing in the front. It seemed like a selfie timer. This little thingy, it turns. And I thought that by the time it gets to the end, it's actually like shoots. So I was trying to do a selfie and it doesn't work. So either there is some extra button I need to push, or maybe again this camera is like just so old that it's just broken. So I never know for sure, but I thought it would be cool to take a selfie. And unfortunately it didn't work. So I will see if I can ask somebody to take a photo of me. Hello, I'm sorry, do you think I can ask you to take a photo with this? It's a film camera. So you just here, and you need to focus with this. It's a little tricky. If you get it wrong, it's fine. Done with the museum, and I still have 5 shots left, so I decided to go all the way to the river and take the remainder shots there. I think I'll just finish the film today, and tomorrow when I go to the exposition, maybe I can actually give them the film directly. We'll see. Okay, the bridge plan is a bit of a fail. I forgot it was under construction. I think they're repairing all the statues on it, and one side is completely closed. I wanted to have the lanterns as a perspective, and this part is completely shut down, and the other one has a lot of cars, and they also closed up the statues. So I think I'll just do a few shots on the river and we'll end at that. Okay, we're done. I ran out of film, so this time it just was one day of photos. I think we got some good shots, so I'm excited to see, but I also feel like it's turning into somewhat of an addiction. I mean, it's not the worst addiction to have, obviously. I want to shoot more with film camera, and I'm even more motivated now to get a better camera that is easier to use. But before we get to this, let's develop the second roll and see if we got any good shots. Good morning. We're going to this, the main goal is to see the people who develop the films. They have a stand there, so I wanted to kind of meet the team, and maybe I even be able to give the second roll for development instead of going to their drop-off location. We'll see. I'm just gonna give the film so that I don't have to drop it off at the location. So we're here with Tomat, founder of Lab 35, and we're gonna learn a bit more about the lab and the story. So can you tell us a bit more about the Club 35?
Yes. So with my girlfriend, we are traveling the world, and we shot film a lot. When it comes to development, each time it was really problematic because either the color are not great, either it's too saturated, either it's flat, and it's difficult to recover the deepness of the color after the lab sends the file, even in TIFF. So I decided to work on my own method for the color grading in order to get all the richness of the negatives. I always dream about a lab where I can give picture of inspirations, and the lab fits the development and the scan with what I am expecting for. So that's what we are doing at Club 35. We match the development and the scan with what you are expecting, and we work directly on the scan to get all the richness of the negatives and to get deep and rich colors. And we have colorists working on it and editing frame by frame in order to match what you want.
Yeah, though I had my first experience with your lab. It was actually my first roll, and I have this very old camera, Zenit ET, I don't know if you know, and it's like a very challenging thing to actually set the exposure right. Yes. And I had one person from your team who told me there were a lot of them were underexposed. Yes. But you did a great job. Like, I was really actually very happy with the result. This was the thing that I saw from your website, is that you try to make the colors the way that people would expect.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say there is a different things to know about film. It's first the exposure, because film, we are capturing the light on it. So if you don't leave enough light coming through the film, it's not painting the film. So one tip I would give to anybody, always overexpose your film, half of a stop minimum to one stop. So if you have ISO 200, you shoot it in 100 always, so to let more light come in. And it's allowed to reveal all the color on the beautiful side of the negatives.
Yeah, I tried to follow the recommendation with my second roll.
Nice.
So yeah, I just gave one to Tomas, so we'll see how this one is different. And how many people do you now have at the team, and when did you start the lab?
Yes. So I work on the lab and on the development process. I'm a bit of a geek, so 1 year before. And I launched it in February this year. At the beginning, we were 2 in the team, and now it's involving 6 people. We have 2 colorists full-time editing every day all the scan of the people, so it's growing really fast. One of the photographers who work with us is ranked among the top 10 wedding photographers among Vogue magazine. And a lot of people like are coming from Fashion Week now, developing with us like a lot of roles. So the lab is getting the hype, and I'm super happy because I'm really passionate about color grading. I'm really passionate about film, and I want to bring something different. Most of labs are doing that, like a lot of quantity. And I feel for me, I like the artisanal side of it. And I'm super happy it's getting this hype and it's growing fast.
And from your experience, I feel like it's a new hype nowadays that like people are going back to film photography. Yeah. Is it something that you feel as well? And what is your take on this?
So I do photography since I have 8 years old. So it's a long time. But I came back to film photography about like 3 years ago. And I no more shoot digital, except on my iPhone. That's it. Because when you try the film, there is something it's so rich in terms of colors or in terms of micro contrast that you cannot get with numeric, with a modern camera. And it's not sharp, but at the same time it's really sharp. I don't know, there is this feeling with the grain and everything, and I don't think it's a hype. Photographers are realizing that they can get amazing color with film, and a lot of professional photographers are using film scanning and for clients sending films, and also a lot of them are developing and printing and rescanning the print because there is a vibe with the film. So, and in our days where nowadays there is lots of, social media and social part is super important, but people want to reconnect to things, to nature, to things more simple. And when you shoot with your film, you don't see the results before you developed. So you take time to compose, to look at the light, to see the people passing through. You don't look your screen. So it's also a kind of meditation when you shoot, because you are really into the moment, Yeah.
It was very nice to meet you, and I'm looking forward to develop more films with you.
Thank you.
We just bought the film to take more photographs, and we bought this legendary one, that Portra 400 that everybody's so hyped about. And now we're just gonna check what else is here. We're kind of doing it without a plan, so let's see what we can find. I found the Harcourt machine. I once took the photo with them, and they actually have this really pretty lighting. So let me show you what it looks like. Je regarde où ici?
Ouais, c'est là.
It's not bad. Got my photo. On the screen it looks much brighter, so it was really confusing. And I also have a scared kind of I'm looking scared. But overall it's nice. Yeah, I need to compare it with my old one. But that's gonna be it for the salon. We're back from the photo event. When I go to those kind of events, I just usually go without a plan, and it's not a good strategy because to make it a success or to make it worth your time, I feel like you really need to go there with certain plan, and maybe you want to try some cameras, listen to some of the conferences. But yeah, just going there, it can be very frustrating, especially if you're like me that don't like crowds and just overwhelmed by amount of choice. Yeah, you need to go with a plan. This said, we still had positive outcomes. Well, the first one was obviously one of the main goals was to meet the team that develops the films. I also was able to give my role, so I don't have to go drop it off. So this was good. And we also get to chat with the founder, and it gave me an extra motivation to keep on shooting on film, because I have a confidence in this lab to develop the film in a way that it looks very beautiful. And also on their advice, I got a different roll. So this is a famous Portra 400. So yeah, this is how it's spelled. And this one is very popular. I don't know if it's for a reason yet, but from what I've heard, it tends to be one of the best renderings and development. We're gonna try this one on our trip tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.